Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
Alexa Bliss defeated Roxanne, Perez, Kairi, Sane and Sol Ruca in a fatal four-way.
Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis defeated the Street Profits to become the new WWE Tag Team Champions.
R-Truth defeated Aleister Black.
LA Knight and Jimmy Uso defeated Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo.
Now, if you would like to know how that all happened,
Lumis still doesn't know what he's doing.
Flair has a new name for Alexa Bliss.
And we have a singles match on the tag show that is SmackDown.
We see the Street Profits exit a lift when a message from the Wyatts 6 flashes up on the screen. You're reckoning. This is then followed by a QR code. Scanning the code takes you to a video of Bo/Uncle Howdy chatting about the tag titles. Kinda. If you'd like to see it, I'm sure we can put the QR code up for the good folk at home watching. We also see Jelly Roll greet Randy Orton before we head to the ring and hear from the megastar. Knight says he wants Seth's dignity, he wants justice, and he wants to hurt him at Saturday night's main event. Knight also calls Seth's gang the Goon Squad before inevitably getting interrupted by Paul Heyman. The personal oracle of Seth Rollins tells Knight that he can see into the future and that he, Rollins and Bronson are the future of the entire industry. But when looking into the future of LA Knight, he sees absolutely nothing, as he has no future at all. Solo Sikoa's music then hits, and out come Bloodline 4.0. Solo says things changed. There's no more Bloodline, no more Tribal Chief, and there's no more Wise Man. Solo then warns Heyman to leave before his MFTs put him through a table. Heyman takes heed, with Solo then giving Knight the same option. Leave, or I'll make sure my MFTs make sure you never walk again. Knight doesn't back down and invites 4.0 to enter the ring and make him leave. The Bloodline get on the apron and surround the megastar when all of a sudden we see a chair slide into the ring right next to Knight. It's Jimmy Uso. He takes out Tongaloa, then enters the ring with a chair, taking out JC. Tala looks to enter the ring, but Solo talks him down. Nick Aldis then appears at the top of the rampway and makes a tag match for later. Solo and JC against Knight and Big Jim. We also learn that Solo will be defending his United States Championship against Big Jim on Saturday night's main event. Quick prediction on that, because we didn't include it in our predictions because we weren't aware of this match. I'm going to go Solo. There ain't no way he's dropping it to Jimmy already. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm going to go Solo to retain, yeah.
Got to be at it, really. I also noticed that the new gear that Bloodline were wearing didn't include a picture of Tama's face. It had the other four, but it didn't have Tama. Now, I know he's injured, but why would you not put Tama on there as well?
Backstage, we see Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, with Bliss asking Flair if she'll be at ringside for her later when she has a match. Flair responds by saying, "Blister, we're not friends," while pointing at her t-shirt. Bliss says she's aware, but if you want to make a statement for Evolution, then that's the way to do it. Flair reluctantly agrees.
We see Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit in the crowd looking old before we get on with our first match of the night. A fatal four-way between Roxanne Perez, Sol Ruca, Kairi Sane and Alexa Bliss. Rodriguez, Zaria, Oscar and Flair, of course, are all at ringside. All four women start fighting in the ring, with Ruca going for a cover on Bliss, which Sane breaks up and follows up by tossing Ruca out the ring. Perez then beats on Sane, with Ruca coming back and taking them both out with a split-legged drop kick. Ruca follows up with a handspring out the ring, landing on the same opponents, which I've not seen before, because we don't watch NXT, and it looked brilliant.
Back from the break, we see Sane taking a superplex from Perez as Bliss and Ruca powerbomb Perez. You know, the usual four-person corner move.
If you don't, I'm sure there'll be a picture.
With Bliss then hitting a blockbuster on Ruca and covering for two. Ruca then saves Bliss from a pin by Perez, with Perez saving herself from a pin by kicking out of a cover by Ruca on two after a running knee.
Sane double stomps Ruca from the top rope while she was in the Tree of Woe, with Bliss breaking up the follow-up cover. Bliss and Perez then exchange blows, but while they do, Ruca runs over and hits them with a double soul snatcher. Now, I've never seen this before, as we don't watch NXT. We've said this before, but it looked absolutely amazing, and it's got an even better name. Ruca covers Perez, but Rodriguez puts Perez's foot on the ropes and then casually walks away. Zaria, not impressed, heads over to Big Mommy Cool, but ends up headfirst on the announcer's desk, with Oscar also eating a boot from Rodriguez. Flair at this point has seen enough and heads over, tossing Raquel over the announcer's desk.
Back in the ring, Sane back elbows Ruca out the ring and then heads up top to drop the insane elbow on Bliss. Bliss gets her leg up though and hits the Sister Abigail DDT and then covers Sane for the 1, 2, 3.
Now, I'm hoping this is how it plays out at Evolution. Flair and Bliss winning, obviously, Bliss winning. But now Bliss has won this, I'm finding it hard to imagine her and Bliss are going to take the tag titles on Sunday as well. I mean, they can still win, of course they can. But if you're going to drop the tag titles from the Judgment Day women, let them win this, making you think, or let Perez win, making you think, oh, well, yeah, they're going to win the titles. But now Bliss has won. It makes you, are they... Yeah. Because now you're all like, oh, yeah, Bliss has won. No, her and Flair will do well.
So it wouldn't be as much of a surprise.
Yeah, so now it's like, oh, but if they hadn't have won this one, or Bliss hadn't have won, you're like, oh, anybody could still...
Yeah,
Or you'd think, say, if Perez had won, oh, yeah, Judgment Day will hold it, but I don't think they will. I think Perez will mess up. As we said in our prediction video, go and watch that. Link in the description somewhere. Next up, the tag team titles are on the line as the Street Profits defend their WWE tag team titles against the White Sixers, Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis. Loving Ford's gear, by the way, inspired, of course, by the greatest wrestler of all time. I don't need to tell you who, you already know. It's a slow start with a couple of lockups and a takedown, with Dawkins then hitting a spinebuster on Gacy and Ford going up top after being tagged in.
Ford doesn't fly though as Gacy gets out the ring. After the break we see Lumis suffer a sunset flip powerbomb from the middle rope after he was looking for a superplex on Ford, with the two then tagging out. Dawkins lights up Gacy, hits him with a double underhook suplex and cover, but gets up after one. No idea why. Clearly something went wrong as he then waits for Lumis to attack him, who he throws out the ring anyway, followed by Gacy. Lumis with a mistake there.
Dawkins dives out at the pair, throws Gacy back in the ring and swantons the pig boy. Gacy kicks out on 2. Dawkins suffers a double team and is then covered for 2 by Lumis. A quick break later and Lumis is covered for 2 by Ford after being double teamed, with Ford then suffering a spinebuster from Lumis and then Gacy powerbombing Lumis onto Ford. Gacy covered for 2 as Dawkins broke the pin. Gacy was the legal man. Ford tags in Dawkins, with Gacy then suffering a super blockbuster and cover, which he kicks out of on 2. We nearly missed this, well in fact we do, as the camera was more interested in Ford super kicking Lumis off the apron. Dawkins then sends Gacy from the ring, spinebusts Lumis, who came charging in, and then tags in Ford. Ford lands a frog splash on Lumis, but then gets pulled from the ring by Rowan. The referee was dealing with Gacy on the ring apron, and therefore didn't notice. At no point did the referee try to remove Lumis from the ring. He wasn't a legal man and never tagged Gacy, yet things carried on as normal. Lumis with another mistake.
Dawkins charges at Rowan, sending him over the timekeeper's barrier, but also takes himself out. Ford goes up top again, but misses his move on Lumis, with Dexter then tagging in Gacy and the pair hitting a double team on Montez, like a powerbomb with a neckbreaker. Anyway, Gacy covers Ford and pins him for the victory, so the Wyatts 6 become the new tag team champions.
Now, just a side note, for me, Lumis is just not good enough. He's messed up in every match that I've seen him in. He doesn't seem to be hitting his cues. Surely there are cues in a match when you come to do something. As I say, Dawkins was covering Gacy. He covered him for 1. Gacy never kicked out. Dawkins just stood up. Then Lumis came in, but Dawkins threw him out. Now, if it was Dawkins' mistake, why didn't Lumis step into the ring, So Dawkins was like, oh yeah, I'm not covering yet, am I? Lumis just stood on the outside, making Dawkins look a bit silly, because he got down for the one, and then he got back up. But he seems to be making mistakes virtually every match he's doing. I mean, to bring it back to, I know I talk about football a lot, but if a player isn't performing, he's dropped. Yeah? You're not doing well, you're out the team. Now, if a wrestler isn't performing and making mistakes week after week, surely the same should apply. Triple H needs to have a word, because the errors are making others look bad. And as I say, the other part that he messed up on, Dawkins was with Gacy was the legal man because he'd just been covered.
Yeah.
He kicked out. Gacy and Dawkins then have a little scuffle, and they end up out of the ring. But Dawkins tagged him forward. Lumis then just decided to come in the ring and starts brawling with Ford. Not once did the referee say, "Oh, what are you doing? Get out of the ring." Why was Lumis in the ring? Now, whether Gacy should have gone over to him and tagged him in, that's fine. Then that's on Gacy. But the point is, what is going on with him?
Yeah.
There's always a problem with Lumis.
Yeah. Something's not quite working.
He's not. If he's not mentally ready for the matches, or he's not, then he shouldn't be there. Because these mistakes are okay, but if you make a mistake on a move, it could be devastating.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you don't want to disagree, that's fine. If you think he's amazing, that's fine. But I'm noticing these things, and it shouldn't happen. It takes you out of what's happening. You're like, well, you made a mistake there. I want to be entertained, and I want to be in it. But if you're doing something wrong, oh, what a mess. Anyway, sorry.
Backstage, we see Motor City, Fraxium, and DIY, with Fraxium saying they deserve the first shot at the Wyatts. Rey Fenix and Andrade then walk in, with Andrade saying that they are now part of this, meaning part of the tag division. Ciampa loses his mind, saying no, before he and Gargano head off to speak with Aldis.
Oh, another tag team. We get a sing-song from Jelly Roll, which is then interrupted by Logan Paul. Paul tells Mr. Roll he doesn't belong in a WWE ring, and that he's disgusted at celebrities and influencers coming into our industry and leeching off our success on a platform that we built. I absolutely love this, and very self-aware. Paul adds that he sets the bar as a professional wrestler, with Jelly then reminding Paul where they are, Jelly's hometown. The two then argue, which is broken up by a voice shouting, "Outsider." Thankfully, it's a real wrestler in the shape of Randall Keith Orton. Orton heads down to the ring, telling Paul to respect the Jelly and to listen to him, calling him a whiny little pitch in the process. Orton lays into Paul verbally, but then turns around into a claymore from Drew McIntyre, with Drew then talking smack to Orton before being shown out the ring by security. Paul then attacks the vulnerable Orton, but Roll grabs Paul and pulls him off, sending him from the ring. Jelly goads Paul back into the ring, with Paul getting on the apron, only for security to spoil it by pulling Logan away. We then see Paul destroying Jelly's set, and he does a very good job of it as well.
Back from the break, we see Orton asking Jelly Roll to be in his corner at Saturday night's main event, before we see the penultimate match of the night, Ron the Truth Killings against Aleister Black. Truth gets a big splash in the corner before Black reverts to type with strikes and kicks. Black throws Truth from the ring and then misses a follow-up moonsault to the outside, with Truth then throwing Black into the ring post and then back into the ring.
Truth then retrieves a chair and enters the ring, but Black drops him with a knee, picks up the chair and goes to hit him. The ref grabs the chair though and tosses it out the ring, with Truth then running up Black from behind and getting the surprise win. After the break, we see Black looking for Truth in the back and then spotting him. As Black goes for Ron, Priest intervenes, saying he knows he's annoyed that he lost, but it's over. Black apologises and the pair shake hands and part ways. Only it's not quite over, as Black then attacks Priest, leaving him down and out, which we did allude to in our musings video. Go and watch that, because we couldn't see where this was going, could we? We knew it was going to be Priest and Black somewhere.
Had to be involved, yeah.
And now it has happened. Sorry.
We're in the ring now with Wade Barrett, Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus. He asks Stratton why she picked Stratus to defend her title against, with Stratton saying why would she not want to face one of the greatest of all time. Barrett then asks Trish how she feels, with Trish replying that the pressure's on Stratton and that she's going to win on Sunday at Evolution. Out comes the former Funkadactyl Naomi, holding the Money in the Bank briefcase. But before she can get going, she's attacked from behind by Jade Cargill. Yet again though, security spoiling things by breaking it up.
You did well there with strategies. Anyway, last match of the night, LA Knight and Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo with a full might of the Bloodline 4.0 at ringside. So this is not looking good. A swinging neckbreaker down Solo, with Knight then sending him to his corner, with he and Jimmy then exchanging tags. Solo suffers 2 hip attacks and get covered for 1. In comes JC, but he eats a super kick and is then Samoan dropped, followed by another 1 count cover.
Solo is tagged back in, with he and Jimmy then fighting on the outside. Solo Samoan drops Jimmy on the announcer's desk, with Solo then standing on the aforementioned desk as we hit a break. We come back to see Jimmy fighting off JC and then tagging in LA, with LA lighting up JC and then dropping him with a jumping neckbreaker. Knight lines up the BFT, but JC pushes him away. Knight then puts Mateo down with a Scorpion Death Drop,
Shout out Sting,
inverted DDT, and tags in Jimmy, but before leaving the ring, he drops an elbow from the top rope.
Big Jim Uso splashes JC and covers, only for it to be broken by Solo. Solo tags back in, gets super kicked by his brother, and then pulls off a spinning Solo and covers Jimmy for 2. Knight breaks the pin. Knight and JC scuffle outside the ring, but as they do, Paul Heyman appears in the timekeeper's area, which distracts Knight. Knight wanders over to Heyman, but then turns around into a big boot by Talatonga.
While all this is happening, Solo is watching from the ring, but should have been concentrating on what was happening behind him, as Jimmy rolls him up from behind and gets the victory. Jimmy quickly gets out the ring and escapes through the crowd as the MFT gang chase after him, with Solo then pointing the finger at Heyman, blaming him for the loss. With Solo distracted again, Knight hits him with a BFT and then starts talking a little smack to Heyman from the middle rope. Heyman walks off with Knight then getting down, but as he does, he's hit with a spear from Bron Breakker, who got in the ring unbeknown to the megastar. LA is then hit with a tsunami from Reed. Security break it up once again, with SmackDown going off the air as we gaze upon Bronson and Paul Heyman.
Wow. I like this guy. I like the interruptions and coming over from Raw to SmackDown. I like it. It doesn't have to be rigid. No. You're on this and you're on that. I mean, I know it's gone. This is the second week it's been at 2 hours. I'm enjoying it at 2 hours because the matches have got a little bit more on them. I mean, I wasn't bothered about Black and Truth, but that's more.
I think that's
a build for Priest and Black. Yeah. But everything else, there was something on it. There was a little bit of interest. Even the Fatal 4-Way at the start, it was just something. It was different, but there was something on it. I don't like these grudges that come out of nothing, where one wrestler walks into another wrestler in the back, spills his coffee, or we need to have a match. I'm not bothered about that. I like to have a little bit of story. Now it's down to the 2 hours. I like it. I mean, we didn't need Jelly Roll singing, but I suppose that was just so he'd be in Orton's corner for tomorrow night. Yeah. And it was in his hometown, so he is going to be in there.
Because obviously Drew's come out as well, so they've got a little bit more behind it, because there wasn't really much.
No, not really. Let's just have a match. Logan Paul, whether he was told to say it or whether he came up with his own ideas, very self-aware, loved it. He knows the position he's in. He knows he's probably not really liked. I mean, we don't dislike him, but we've never said that his moves. You know, he's very athletic.
Oh yeah,
he can pull up. No problem. Fantastic.
The moves he does,
fantastic.
Great.
But just being a YouTuber and then, hey, I want to do some wrestling. Yeah, just come in. It's a bit. I understand it's for the exposure and what he does on his TikTok and his Instagram, whatever he does. I'm not into that, but it's just the exposure of him and WWE have gone, yeah, you know what? If we get him on board, you like wrestling, come on board. But anyway, that's enough rambling. I want to hear what you've got to ramble about, and you know what to do. Stick them in that comment section below.
Don't forget to check out our music video with thoughts and opinions on the last week of WWE, because a new one drops every Wednesday.
Does it? Once again, if you do watch, thank you very much.
And we'll see you Sunday for a rundown on Saturday night's main event.